I'd like to call this meeting to order. Adequate notice of the Board of Commissioners meeting of the Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund being held on August 21st, 2025, have been provided by mailing notice to the Home News and Tribune, the Star Ledger, in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Mr. Kurtz, would you please do a roll call?
Commissioner Polino? No. Commissioner Jules?
Here.
Commissioner Zanga?
Here.
Commissioner Heck? No. Chairman Delgado?
Here. Thank you, Mr. Kurtz. I'm going to move right on to the report of the Executive Director, Ms. Murphy, please.
Can we do the approval of the July 15th open and closed meeting minutes?
Oh, I missed A. Please, may I have a motion for the approval of the July 15, 2025 open and closed meetings minutes? Can I have a motion? Thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Jules?
Yes.
Commissioner Zanga?
Yes.
Chairman Delgado?
Yes. Now, if you may, go to Ms. Murphy. Thank you.
Just a couple of things. Number one, it is anticipated that the 2023 audit will be released in September to us in draft form for our review. And then once the commissioners have an opportunity to review it, then we will seek to adopt it for the 23 year, and then the 2024 year will get started immediately thereafter. The other thing is we continue to work with the department weekly on where we are from a financial standpoint in the fund. And that's it, except for closed session later on the agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy.
Question, Mike?
Yes.
So 2023, we've done in September.
Yes.
That ended up being a hefty audit worth of work and back and forth. Could you just give us a little context as to why we're doing 23 and 25?
2023, they've continued to ask for more information, and as time continues, then they just keep asking for additional information, clarifying information. We've given a lot of financial documents. As the audit sits, then, then they continue to ask for more recent stuff. So in all honesty, a lot of the 2024 information that they would need for the audit is probably already in their hands.
That's great.
So hopefully the 24 we'll get through that quickly, because they've looked at so much of it. They've actually probably looked at really late in the 24 and even 25 stuff. So it should be a lot quicker for the 24 to get done.
Sounds thorough.
Yes, very.
So that's your question.
Thank you.
All right, the report of the Administrator, Mr. Kurtz.
Yes, Chair. The only item I have is respects to installment payments on the plan. From what I understand, we were waiting on Monroe, and in Jamesburg, I understand Monroe has been received.
Their check was received at my office today. I will be forwarding it to Mr. Kurtz to deposit it as quickly as he can. And because then that money has to go back out for an approved settlement.
And now Department of already has reached out to try and get it to them, so in discussions with them.
Any questions, Mr. Kurtz? I'm sorry.
Claims in closed session.
Does that conclude your report,
Yes.
Mr. Kurtz? Any questions, Mr. Kurtz? If you're not, we'll move on to the financial officer report. Mr. Lonzo is not here, so.
No, he is in report today.
Okay. Any report from the attorney, Mr. McCall?
No, I think everything will be addressed in closed session. Most of it relates to litigation.
Thank you, Mr. McCall. So, on the next item on the agenda is the old business, the plan and dissolution status. I'll address that when I offer my open statement for public comment. At this point, I'll bring your attention to new business and the resolution 2025-01, aging for service and location of records. I know everyone had a chance to review it, so at this point, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval.
Motion, Joe.
Second.
Commissioner Jules?
Yes.
Commissioner Zanga?
Yes.
Chairman Delgado?
Yes. So we're now moving to the public comment portion of the meeting. This is an opportunity for interested persons to provide comments to the commissioners. This is not a question and answer session. The commissioners will not be responding to questions or comments. To the extent that an individual has comments on the preliminary dissolution plan, we request that you also provide those comments in writing so that they might be shared with the Department of Banking and Insurance and the Department of Community Affairs. The email for comments is info@mcnjif.com. That's Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund.com. To put this process in perspective, I want to note that as a former commissioner for the fund, we have been asked by Dobie to assist in the fund's dissolution and we cooperate accordingly. The preliminary dissolution plan was drafted in good faith on the direction of Dobie to effectively wind down the fund. The plan was submitted to the agencies on July 22nd. Dobie and DCA, our regulatory agencies, have 90 days to comment on the plan. We expect that there will be amendment to the plan before it is approved. The law requires that all former members participate in the dissolution process by fund year and lines of coverage. In fact, all former members are jointly and severally liable for the years of participation to the fund. The commissioners cannot comment on pending litigation. While we are the commissioners who have been asked to construct this plan, all former members are in the same predicament of meeting our public charge to make sure that claims are paid. Please remember that the fund's public participation policy limits speakers to one opportunity to provide comments and that there is a 3-minute per person limit. So with that said, I invite members of the public to offer comment at this point. Who would like to address the board?
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Connolly. I'm an attorney. I'm with the law firm of Davison, Eastman, Munoz, and Payam.
Mr. Conley, forgive me, would you mind coming up to the microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure. That's fine. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Connolly. I'm an attorney. I work with the law firm of Davison, Eastman, Munoz, and Payam, and we represent the township of Millstone. As you're certainly aware, Millstone became a member of the fund in 2004 and remained a member of the fund through 2018 and chose not to renew its membership in 2019. We received notice of the preliminary dissolution plan and the opportunity to comment. We did submit a writing fairly detailed on August 20th, 2025, providing copies as instructed. I would, rather than taking up too much time reading all of this into the record, I would just incorporate what's in the written statements into the record today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to address the board? Mr. Crowder.
Charlie, you don't want to lean into the camera yourself?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Charlie Crowderville. I'm a New Brunswick resident, editor of New Brunswick Today. I think you know me well by now. I want to say I think it's unfortunate and inappropriate that you're not taking questions. You're a public official, and if people have questions, you should be willing to take them. I also think that both this fund and the Department of Banking and Insurance have failed miserably. It's clear that both entities have been lacking in transparency, lacking in compliance with the Open Public Records Act, and this entity, as I've raised before, has had non-compliance issues with the Open Public Meetings Act, but nevertheless, I'm glad to be here today and be able to address you and just tell you my story of learning about the JIF. So, Buck Foston's Roadhouse is the name of a proposed bar in New Brunswick. It's the old Bennigan's. There's a man named Larry Blatterfine who wanted to open up a bar there for Yankee fans, and the name was a Spoonerism, I think. And our mayor here didn't like it. For whatever reason, he said, it's great if you want to open a bar, but not with that name. And he got our corrupt police director, Tony Caputo, to withhold approval of the liquor license for that establishment, even though Mr. Blatterfine already had one liquor license and met the qualifications to hold a liquor license. Well, Mr. Blatterfine sued the city. It went to a federal trial, and the city lost and had to pay $1.5 million. And then in reading a news article about this was more than a decade ago, I saw the mayor's comment, something to the effect of, no big deal, it's covered by insurance. And I said, whoa, what is this system where you can violate people's rights? In the rare situation when they challenge it, when they go to trial and they win and you have to pay there's no consequences because you just write it off as an insured expense. And of course, as New Brunswick and almost every government entity has lots of lawsuits, lots of claims against them. And I was concerned about the accountability, so I started to look into the municipal joint insurance.
30 seconds, sir.
There's the 3-second warning?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay, thank you. I just wanted to say that, I think that we should be supporting changes in the law that would require transparency from joint insurance funds, and that would include notifying the elected officials and the public anytime you enter a settlement, anytime you take a case to trial, because unfortunately, the city council has a ton of people that want to follow that. Nobody attends this meeting. Nobody knows what this entity is doing, and unfortunately, that created a perfect storm where Dobie dropped the ball and didn't oversee this entity properly, and the commissioners dropped the ball, and he ended up short $27 million, and now we're here having to dissolve the whole fund, something that existed since the 80s. So it's very unfortunate that we're here today. It's unfortunate that you won't take questions. I think you need to be more transparent, and I think we need changes in our law to protect the people.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. I gave you extra time, by the way.
Before Mr. Crandall sits down, Mr. Crandall, if you don't mind, through the chairman, of course.
Sure.
Mr. Crandall, I think we'd be glad to know your questions, and we'd be glad to make a note of them. So please, let us know your questions.
Question, with the meeting minutes that I asked several times about, and I was provided one page that did not include the results of any votes that took place.
Ends with a question mark. Go ahead. What's the question?
Why wasn't I provided with more? That's the question. Those were the responsive documents you were given? Was there a statement that these are the responsive documents? Yes, and I contest that. I do not believe that it was, you know what minutes look like. They have, the votes that took place and a log of who voted which way and who did that. I was not provided that. I was provided with page 1.
And just to clarify the question, you contested that in writing?
No.
Are you contesting that now?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes. The weekly reports, it's good to hear they're being filed. I have a pending open request with Dobie to have them release them, and they have totally botched it. They asked for a 14-day extension and did not provide anything for months. Will this entity release those reports if requested?
I'll direct that to our attorney.
So the lawyer submit the open request and then we'll respond appropriately. I don't see it as a problem, but I need to, let's just follow the procedure.
Yeah, I'm happy to submit the request. I just, kind of struck out with prior requests. So that's, one reason I went through Dobie. I was hoping they would say, okay, well, here you go, transparency, just as bad. Drop the ball as well. So I hope that when I do file my request, that it will be promptly and fully
I'm
responded
having a hard
to.
time between the editorializing and the questions.
I understand. Staying next to you, you're limited to 3 minutes. There's
No,
only a couple
we're outside of 3 minutes.
outside of 3
Other
minutes.
questions, come on.
Okay. And I would like to learn why the vendors that were selected are continuing to be paid. For example, the Jaffe Communications. Is that really a critical expense to have Jaffe Communications be doing public relations work for the JIF?
Is your question specific to Jaffe?
Jaffe and the other vendors, I know we still have an executive director who's well paid and has other jobs. I know obviously there's still an administration, but I know that there's certain vendors that you've continued to fund. And,
So your question is Jaffe and the executive director, what other vendors are you curious about?
whatever ones you're funding. So I want to know why each one is critical.
So if we're not funding a vendor, do you still need to know that?
No, if there's no expenses.
So what if the vendor is someone you thought we weren't funding?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So you seem to think there's a list of vendors who are being funded.
I recall a resolution from December 31st where you said, we'll continue with these vendors. Now, I know that resolution was overturned, but I don't know who's being funded and who's not, and
Okay.
I wanted to ask, for
Other
that.
questions?
I would like to know when the next meeting is, and if the board would be so kind as to notify me, because I don't believe there's anything on the calendar yet.
Okay.
And I would also like to ask if the board is going to ever provide an honest response to the recording that was sent to me of Mr. Kurtz and Ms. Murphy, you know, freely discussing the sinking ship that is the JIF. I understand, you know, that wasn't intended for me to hear, but I heard it, and the response was totally off base, totally blaming me for releasing the recording instead of explaining what was going on, and that was in October, of course. And then finally, I would just like a timeline of the final, I guess, week of December. According to your dissolution plan, you said you learned on December 24th that the MCUA was going to move forward with its lawsuit. That lawsuit was filed December 6th, so I'm not clear on why you didn't know about it at the 24th meeting. I guess maybe you talked about it in executive session, but there was no public notice that the ship was actually sinking and you were going to try to dissolve it. Again, that meeting on
Your
December.
metaphors are colorful but off base.
Just so you know, there were conversations between council trying to point out that the lawsuit should not have been filed and requesting that it be withdrawn. And it took from the filing until December 24th for it to drop into place with, no, it won't be withdrawn, we're moving forward, and then that's why it became the critical at that time to deal with. We had been we tried to get it dismissed or withdrawn, whatever, before that.
Well, thanks for the response. I would, still like to know why that December 31st meeting was held without normal notice. That
I think we responded on
I mean, that was an emergency meeting, so.
that.
right, but if you knew on the 24th that this was happening, why didn't you say we're going to have an extra meeting on the 24th, or the 25th, or the 26th, or the 27th, or the 28th?
Well, we didn't necessarily know what was going to happen. There had to be an identification of what needed to be done so that the emergency notice could appropriately describe what the meeting would cover.
Okay. And then the final question is just why'd you stop recording the Zoom meetings starting on December 31st? That's the big red flag to me. You always recorded the meetings, and then that one, the one where you tried to, end the whole thing, it wasn't recorded. I know I've asked Mr. Jules about it a number of times, said it wasn't his decision. I want to know whose decision it was and why. That's all.
If I could clarify the conversation, as I remember,
Sure.
I think I asked you if recordings were required in law, and I think you and I both agreed that recordings were not required, that the JIF had met law reporting requirements, and that, whether we record or don't record, we're still in compliance with the law, and that's where we left it.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question of why was a change made to the practice. Still a valid question.
Just like we are in person today, why are we in person? We're a small group, it works for us, practice has changed, we're not justifying being in person today. So, good. Any other questions?
No, that'll be all.
Thank you.
Can I expect answers in follow-up?
Some of these questions you have answers to, we'll identify them, we'll get back to you. Yes, so thank you for giving us.
Thank you for letting me ask.
And to my fellow commissioners, the former police director was not corrupt, nor was he accused of being corrupt. Sometimes Mr. Cradible trips on his own words or leaves a me too, but can't let that stand as is.
Any other member of the public would like to address this board today? Thank you. Well, with that said, I close the public comment session on the agenda, and I will entertain now a motion to go into closed session as required.
Motion, Joe.
Second.
So we're going to be going into closed session to discuss, basically discuss matters in litigation that require the commissioners to review and that are still not, they have not reached the point of resolution where they would be described or announced in open session.
Having to take any action afterwards?
At this point, I don't know. It depends on what happens in closed session.
Fair enough.
But you can stay here because we have another room. We don't have to kick you out.
Thank you.
On that point, will you formally adjourn the meeting after closed session?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but there may be something after the closed session meeting that goes on the record, correct?
I might not.
Might be not.
Yeah.
So you'll come back and say we're done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you all discussing the old business and new business, or has that happened already?
That occurred,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong agenda. You all don't have an agenda for today available for the public? It's not on your website? Yeah. Got
The
it.
plan of dissolution was already discussed, yes.
Okay.
did we open it to,
Was there an agenda
She's
for
from
the
down
public for today?
She's from, would you like to address the, you can address the, you can come up to the microphone and then.
No, I don't have any comment. I just wanted to know if there's an agenda for today.
Yes.
Just gonna change them all around.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we're sitting on a motion to go into closed session. Mr. Kurtz, would you like to roll call, please?
Commissioner Juice?
Yes.
Commissioner Zangin?
Yes.
Chairman Delgado?
Yes. Please excuse.
Yeah. Stand by. All right, Leon and Sean, you're on speakerphone. We are in council chambers coming out of closed session.
She's probably for motion.
Yes, go back. Yeah. Yeah, before I'd like to entertain a motion to come back into a public session.
Motion, Joe.
Second.
Commissioner Juice?
Yes.
Commissioner Zangin?
Yes.
Chairman Delgado?
Yes. So during that closed session, the only thing that, I wouldn't say the only thing, but what was discussed were updates in terms of claims and litigation. So there's nothing to make decisions about in the form of public as to, what occurred. That's basically what it was. Now, the one announcing is, and Mr. Crowell will take note, is that our next meeting is going to be Thursday, September 18th, right here at 10 a.m. Okay? So with that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion, Joe.
Second.
Commissioner Juice?
Yes.
Commissioner Zangin?
Yes.
Chairman Delgado?
Yes. Thank you very much to all.
Thank you.